show you, really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Monday, 11 a.m. That's right. Tech Shamans live from WeBeam TV. And there we got Anthony coming in. Yeah, he's my interpreter. He's my sign language guy. Yep. I'd be like this the whole time. The whole time. I'm just saying. Yeah. So anyway, good morning. How you doing, Ant? I got you.
Great
thinking.
timing. Wait until I put the coffee up.
It's like a waiter or waitress. Hey, you want something else to eat? I got food in my mouth. Sorry, I can't talk.
No, we're doing great here. We are holding our own, and that's good because if anybody else is holding it, you might get a virus. So
that is true.
There you go.
There you have it right there. That's funny.
So much going on in the world of technology today. It is just insane.
So I literally want to jump out of the box, and I'm not trying to pick a fight with the state of Florida, but how in God's green earth can you build a website that can't handle at least 1 million people?
Easily. Very easily, because you answered your own question, okay, in the way you questioned it.
Yeah.
How can you build your own website? That's the problem. They are trying to build stuff from scratch. They have these design specs that they've come up with.
Right.
And instead of saying, okay, what technology is available and how do we adapt it to what we need, they say, oh, no. Here's what we need, and we have unlimited dollars because it's not real money anyway. We're just going to go back and print more.
Right.
Okay. And so therefore, we can go ahead and ask for all these ridiculous things that, just like any law that you write, they will actually contradict each other.
Right.
Okay. And so you'll get, this part of the database has to do this and that part of the database has to do that. Even worse, they're probably starting with multiple databases. You see, for those who don't really understand it, but you may have worked with Excel, spreadsheet formula. Well, that's actually just a very rudimentary database. So you've got your rows, you've got your columns, you can go here, you can find this information here, you got it, you win. The problem is, when they build these things, they frequently deal with large databases of information that are not connected naturally. What I mean by that is when you design something like this properly, what you have is a single database, but within it you have what are called tables.
Right.
And just like in an Excel spreadsheet, when you have your your different pages that you can look at within one spreadsheet that you open, that is where you get the interoperational functionality of your spreadsheet. Because you can say, okay, I want you to go to page 3 in my spreadsheet and pull the calculation that I did there that was created from data that came from page 2 in my spreadsheet, okay, and then put it all over on page 1 so that I get to see the synopsis of all this information. That's great. It's all within one spreadsheet.
Right.
The problem is, many times you find situations like this, they're working with completely different spreadsheets. So go to this hard drive and find this file and open this spreadsheet and grab this number from page 1 of that spreadsheet and then pull it over here into this spreadsheet so that it can then function over here. They should all be done in one spreadsheet. In a database, it's called a database and tables. And you have your tables within that allow you to gather all kinds of data. When you have a well-designed database, and you think you're going to need, 4 different tables, your architect, when you design it, will build it with 20 tables. Because at some point, you're going to go, oh, my God, we should have done this. Let's add it. But because they didn't build it with enough tables at the beginning, they then have to build another database and add on and add on and add on.
Right.
And what you end up with is this massive mess because you keep adding on this customized stuff that just makes everything a nightmare.
So it's been like I don't think I've done unemployment but once in my life, and I don't remember even then. Why can't they make this as simple as a contact form? Your name, your social security number, your birth date, your address, the day you got laid off, and who you work for. Done.
Well, because two things. Number one, of course, it has to have confidentiality. Okay, but that is be accessible and available. Exactly. Okay, that is one factor. But then what they want to do is they want to bring it in and they want to be lazy about it. And so they go, okay, we want it to cross-reference with our other databases. And we want to see if these people have actually ever filed recently. Because we have this database over here in another county that has this information. And we're up here in this county where we're taking this new information in. And so we wanted to cross-reference with that database as soon as they put it in so that they can see their file and see what they've already applied for. And if they, where they qualify for, which is what you get if you go in and apply now. Okay, it shows what you've applied for in the past, what you're qualified for now. So because it has to pull all that information, it has to pull it from different databases because they set the whole damn thing up wrong to begin with. Right.
See, that's what I'm saying. They need to flush this system because at this point in time, whether I pulled a year ago or not, that has nothing to do with what's going on right now.
Absolutely not.
Because this is an unprecedented event that's happened to the United States. So why don't they just make it so, look, here's the landing page. This is the information I need. We need to know where to send your check. We're done.
Yeah, and we need some basic information on you. We can cross-reference that in the back, but we don't need our live system up front to be having to pull from all these databases before you can even talk to it.
Right,
which is just crazy. And they are dealing with custom stuff instead of taking stuff off the shelf that they could do that would have it done like that because it's been tested a billion times over and it works fine.
Right. I know for a fact that they could have literally put a 10-page website together in a day. That just takes.
I could have put the website for them, and documented all this, and we could have had it done in an hour.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that the state of Florida is looking this stupid, right?
Yeah, I mean, we are the bottom of the nation,
right,
in terms of response time. This website has been bad since 2012. Don't let anybody fool you.
Yeah.
Okay, it has been a problem since 2012. They've known about it since 2012.
Right.
They have spent millions of taxpayer dollars on it since 2012, and it still doesn't work. All they need to do is dump the different databases into one new database with tables and build from there. Right. But they won't do that because we've got tribes, we've got fiefdoms, this is our data and it's protected and you can't have it even though you need it. And so we have to give you limited access. Well, screw it. Give me the part I can have and let me download it into my database.
Right. Hillsborough County put together a 17-person team to take phone calls that if you need assistance, if you need this, you need this. 17 people is going to answer all these people's wants, needs, to put them in the right department.
It's crazy.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's crazy because the only thing that holds you back is bandwidth. And if you want proof that bandwidth is not a barrier, go from 10 million customers to 300 million customers in 90 days.
Right.
That's what Zoom did.
Yep.
And we're on it right now. And does anybody see a problem because 300 million people are now using it? No.
And see, here's something else that it really kind of, I understand there's got to be protective size, the whole 9 yards. Okay, we service, our servers are sitting on GoDaddy. And we carry 1 million plus monthly. Our sites are not having problems.
No. And the thing is, but that's because they bump up your bandwidth and bill you. That's exactly how Amazon with their servers does it. Okay,
right.
You buy a certain level, and as soon as you bump over, they don't cut you off. God, remember when websites used to run out of bandwidth at the end of the month? Oh my God. Do you remember that? You'd get a notice saying the website was down until the end of the month because they'd run out of bandwidth.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was like 20 years ago. Okay. But you used to get that notice. Now it just automatically goes up and they tack it onto your credit card bill. Have a nice day. And you're happy because guess what? You blew out your numbers. You're good. Run it. And so that's what you get. And I'm sure Zoom is running on Amazon servers.
Right.
Okay. As is about 80% of the world. Okay. And so they automatically bump you up to accommodate. So tell me again, Florida, what's your problem?
I guarantee you the state of Florida has got, they're like, oh no, we have our own servers and this is the way we have to have it because it's custom and blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody out there going to try to steal your website. Now they want now data mining that they might be wanting your data, but nobody is going to steal your shit because it don't work.
Look, if the Pentagon can work on Amazon servers, I think the state of Florida unemployment can too.
That's what Rob and I were talking about that this morning. We're like, why can't the state of Florida go, can we borrow some of your servers for a little bit to handle?
Well, because the problem's not a server issue.
No, it's not.
That's not the problem.
No,
the problem is a database issue.
Yeah, this is the database issue. Yeah, I heard this morning.
It's the only thing that explains the symptoms.
I heard this morning that the site can't handle the inbound flow at the same time it's handling the outbound flow. In other words, that your inbound comes in, all your information's given to them, and then it has to turn around. And why is that sitting on the same server? Why is your inbound not on one server and your outbound is on another server?
My guess is because of the database issues in the background.
It's all
okay.
database.
They're coming in. They're having to go find the information from a database, which is taking bandwidth and server speed. Okay, so they got to go find it. Then they got to bring it back. So they're going back and forth with all this between databases that aren't connected. They're all on different computers.
Right.
They're on different servers, different hard drives in different places. And it's pulling all this crap from all these different places instead of having just a single unified system, which, by the way, in terms of, if there were a cyber attack, oh my God, aren't we glad we have these separate systems? Hell no, because they're already connected. And if Adam were here, he'd be telling us exactly how they would be, networking back through and attacking all of them. And besides, look how well they work anyway.
Right.
What's the point in saying it's safe when you...
Yeah. Rob was half of the personnel stuff's already been hacked, so...
Yeah. So what is the point of saying it's safe if it doesn't even do what it's supposed to do in the first place?
Exactly.
Oh, hey, you know what? My radar works great in my car, but my car doesn't have an engine. So I never get a speeding ticket. Woohoo! Perfect radar.
Yeah. Awesome.
It works great for me.
Hey, by the way, today's show is brought to you by Call 7. If you're looking for awesome VoIP for your phone systems, they keep their downtime is nearly nil, which is freaking awesome. They're our provider. Call 7 is the way to go when it comes to getting your voices and heard over the internet. Instead of having the old landlines, you get to have a good old fashioned, a good old voice over IP, which is absolutely phenomenal. So if you need them, give them a call. I can't see their phone number off the top of my head. So call7.com. It's the best way to get a hold of them. So they're awesome. They take very good care of us here in the studio. So anyway, but to me, and speaking of servers, they run on servers, and my phones are never down.
Well, that's because you don't have to have that thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. What's next, John? Before I blow another fuse. Okay. I've got COVID rage at this point.
So you know how we're using Zoom right now, right? Because we like Zoom, and Zoom's very stable and it does a very good job. It's meant to do what we need it to do. Well, Messenger, our Facebook decides Messenger Rooms are Facebook's answer to the Zoom and house party for the pandemic.
Yep.
Yeah, so they've expanded their video chat to be able to do multi.
Yeah, they can take up to 50 people in the room,
right?
At once, and you can, mark it private, and so that not everybody can just join into your Facebook Live video because it's really more than a video. It's a chat like what we have here, so you can protect it. You don't have to worry about the Zoom bombing of people getting into your meeting just by playing with the numbers.
Right.
Of course, you don't have to worry about that with Zoom either if you actually use the password feature.
Yep.
I mean, duh. Okay.
Yep.
So it's like, oh look, we have the same technology, but we're going to market it.
So maybe next Monday, let's try it to see how good it is. But
I say we try it long before then.
Well, we want to see the ease. But yeah, we'll try it because, hey, look, you know what? I'm willing to try. First of all, it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
Zoom costs.
Kind of, sort of, which makes me wonder, how are they going to, I mean, they say that it's going to be, confidential and so on, but we know damn well that they algorithmically data mine everything that goes over their servers.
Right.
Okay. And so whatever it is you're talking about, whatever the subject matter is, too many people have had the wonderful experience of finding the ads in their Facebook feed after talking about owning a pet wombat,
or a porcupine.
Or a porcupine. There you go.
We did it.
You did it. And so, do I really think that my calls are going to be secure? Not just no, but hell no.
Right.
And so, do I want to feed that monster? Not really. But that's going to be, I guess one of the other things is when I look at them as a social media platform and I see what social media platforms are doing right now,
right,
in terms of banning conversations, subject matter based on, it doesn't matter if it's factual, it matters whether it fits the narrative.
Right.
I have a real issue, not only with feeding that monster, but, we decide to have a conversation about something, or maybe we decide to put on some program that's all about conspiracy theories. Suddenly we find our entire platform banned.
Gone.
I'm not in the mood to go play that game with them just because, oh God, look, here's somebody else's technology we can steal and profit from today.
Yep.
Which is, if you read the article that you had up there,
yep,
okay, that is basically their profit model is who's done something cool that we can steal.
Right. Yeah, because the very next article I want to talk about is Zuckerberg is on how the video chat needs to evolve for the pandemic. So what he's done is he's like, well, the building the rooms now, virtually later, blah, 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 massive. Yeah. So they've accelerated the complete building of the rooms.
Yeah.
Because I'd heard about, we knew they were coming. Mm-hmm. The minute the iPhone can supposedly take 15 or 25 people in a FaceTime. That right there was like, okay, this is going to push Zuckerberg to make sure that everything online he can do multiple people inside Messenger. Yeah. So.
Well, and it's kind of jumping back to Edison. Okay, it doesn't matter who invents it; he'll steal it and slap his label on it because he's got the big money and the name recognition.
Yep.
Okay, and Zoom was out there; they were kind of struggling. They had 10 million users; they were okay, and then along they showed that there's a market.
Right.
And so what happens as soon as they prove there's a market? Zuckerberg data mines them. And, because they were advertising their stuff on Facebook, so they knew who they were going after.
Exactly.
They knew who Zoom's market was. So they took all that data that Zoom very nicely assembled for them in their black box calculations, which is what they do when they clone an audience.
Yep.
Okay. Or if you have any data pixels, Facebook doesn't let you see who's in that pixel. But the Zoom, .us, I'm sure is data pixeled from Facebook. And so therefore, Facebook has full access to every Facebook user who has ever used Zoom.
Right.
And that, to me, which they then turn around and with their massively deep pockets, create a product to put Zoom out of business.
Right.
That is, to me, viciously unethical. And it is, I don't want to feed that monster no matter what. And other companies do it on a regular basis. We might even have an article about that coming up in a little bit. But whatever.
So that's kind of good. You just kind of segue in there. So speaking of feeding ugly monsters, Uber is facing huge criticism for stopping the food deliveries in the low-income neighborhoods in San Francisco. It says it can't deliver to Treasure Island in San Francisco to comply with a city order. And I guess it's foreign residents. I guess they said the regulations limit the company's ability to cover operational costs, but San Francisco Supervisor Matt Harney has criticized Uber's for its approach. So why they're blaming it on money? I mean, are all these people down in San Francisco lower end just ordering $5 meals? Or
I mean, it shouldn't. It shouldn't affect Uber that much. I mean, I could see what's the Instacart, okay, which charges a percentage of the grocery bill, like 25% on top of your grocery bill,
right?
In addition to their $3.99, delivery fee and yada yada. I could see that if you're only buying cheap stuff. But the fact of the matter is, where we live, it's harder than heck to get Uber Eats to deliver anything up here because guess what? Nobody up here is participating in Uber Eats.
Right.
Okay. And I mean, those who are McDonald's, Taco Bell, that's who's participating. So you're right. There's super low revenue bills. You're ordering off their 99-cent menu.
Right.
And so you're trying to get a $5 to $10 meal delivered and they're making $2. It's just not in their business model.
No,
if
they're not making
deliveries in that area.
Right. Yeah. If they're not making big money, they're not interested.
Well, and why should they be? I mean, why should they have to be?
This is not a. I mean, this
was a luxury product.
Right. It's just not like something like, this is not a government-run program. It's like they're all about making money. If they're not making money, they're not interested. And I get that.
This is a luxury product. Okay. And look, if somebody wants to go out there and create a meal delivery service in these depressed areas, there's a huge market there for them.
Right.
Get on it and do it. Okay. Start use the monster. Use Facebook. Start a group.
Yep.
Okay. Where people go in, they can pay through Facebook Messenger app.
Right.
Okay. You can create a food delivery service right there.
Right. Exactly.
And start a business. And if you can make a go of it using off-the-shelf stuff that's right there available, rock and roll party, dude. Your neighborhood's waiting for you to be the entrepreneur that starts it.
Yeah, I mean, how cool would that be?
Nobody's stopping them.
Nope. Like take your area up there where you're at, and we used to have a business up there. We used to have actually our studio used to be right by you, and you're right, man. Over there, there's food. There's all kind of food. But you could never, for me to stop what I was doing, for me to run out and go buy food. I mean, there was no delivery. We actually finally talked a place that was across the street from us, literally across the street. We talked them into sending their busboy over, and we gave the guy $5 every time he'd come over, and literally would walk across the street and give it to us, so we wouldn't have to stop production. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of funny. All of a sudden, then they found out what we do. And they're like, oh, well, we'll just bring it over if you'll talk about us on air. I'm like,
there you go.
Okay, whatever. And that's how, actually, that's how one of our shows started called Twisted Views. It's, they'd bring over lunch and we'd have lunch and we'd all talk while we were having lunch. So that's kind of what we did. But anyway, to me, I mean, there's a lot of people. Of course, everybody's like, "Oh, you're redlining. It's discriminatory." Blah blah blah. If they don't have the amount, if you go back and look at your history, and there's not enough delivery, let's say it's 10%, or maybe 7% or 15% of the overall delivery period. That's not a good. You don't want to keep doing it because you're not making money, and your people aren't making money.
I mean, think about it. Okay, these aren't voting districts.
No.
Okay, you don't have a constitutional obligation to provide food delivery service. Okay, unless you have constitutionally ordered people to stay in their homes, which has not happened. Okay, you're allowed to go out and get food. So there is absolutely nothing here that the government can't step in and they go, okay, we're going to pay Uber to go do this because we mandated these people do that. No, we don't have that situation. And so Uber is under no obligation whatsoever. Now, stepping back for a second, if Uber is making $1 bazillion on the high-end neighborhoods, okay, in San Francisco, would it be good for them to make a PR move? Okay, just like Shake Shack returned its $10 million, okay, and yet they're still finding themselves lumped in with all the ones who didn't. But if they could go ahead and do that as a PR move, that may be a neat idea. Where they come out and go, even though we're losing money on these food delivery orders in this area, we're still going to do it because people need it. That would be good PR. That would be good marketing. But apparently the cost is so high for that they just aren't going to do it.
Right. And and I'm not trying to say that's a bad neighborhood, but what if it's a bad neighborhood and all the Uber guys are like, I ain't going down there. I ain't delivering down there.
And
as an Uber driver, that's one of those things you can say, I don't want that trip.
I don't do that neighborhood. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, you choose the ones you take. Yeah, as an Uber driver, you choose the ones you take.
Well, I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's the same for the meal delivery side, but to me, I think
I bet it is. I bet it is. Right. You're going to jump in and grab it. I mean, that's how their whole software is designed.
Right.
Okay. And so whoever jumps in and grabs it is going to get the deal. But if you look at this and you go, wait a minute, this is down in an area where nobody tips, and I live on my tips. It's not worth me going.
Or it's just it's a bad neighborhood. There we do have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay. I mean, generally you end up with a confluence there. Okay. Of the bad neighborhoods don't tip.
Right.
Okay. And so it's like, gee, if I hang out 3 more minutes and wait, I'm going to get that good neighborhood that's going to flip me a 20.
Right. Yeah.
For delivering it hot. Duh. I'm only going to make $6 on the deal, but I can make $20 off the tip.
Right. So
I'm going to wait 3 minutes.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about something that I think is something you've been kind of saying there for a little while is yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Amazon testing video calls to verified third party. Oh no, we have another Amazon thing where we're going to talk about.
Oh.
Amazon testing video calls to verify third party sellers. So they're going to make sure you're real.
Well, I think that's great. I'm glad they are making sure that their sellers actually have the product, because as we know, there's a lot of people on both eBay and Amazon who have been, good customers who have been burned badly.
Yeah.
Buying masks, buying refill cartridges, buying all this pandemic stuff.
Well, you order something
and
it's
not real.
Right. You order something and what shows up is not, and I was a victim of it.
It's those comic book ads in the back of the comic books when we were kids.
Dude, I saw that post you did the other day. I'm like, I remember that awesome submarine.
The submarine is the one I don't remember, but I did actually get the X-ray glasses, the money printer, and sea monkeys.
I got the glasses, the sea monkey, the ring, and
the buzzer ring. Yeah, you're right.
Remember the buzzer ring? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I never ordered the submarine.
50,000 volts.
Yeah, 50,000 volts. All right. It was a vibrator. It was really weird. Yeah. It wasn't even electric. It was
it wasn't even electric. It wasn't even battery operated.
Nope. You wind it up and then you shake somebody's hand.
Exactly. And you shake it. That was it. But it hurt you as much as it hurt them.
And I'm in a way, this is the one thing that I kind of appreciate Amazon doing it, because I've ordered stuff.
I don't disagree.
We've ordered stuff here lately, boy. The electronic side of it. Normally, I had a really good source for an HDMI to SDI turnaround, which is what it does for us. Is it turns our camera around to make it where it'll work, or if an HDMI feed will go to our system, because we have all SDI. SDI is like a little cable connector, and they're not working. They'll work once and then they'll stop working. And so we're dealing with this a lot now. And I'm like, okay, well, we got to figure a better way. And the one that we bought that seems like it works flawlessly, they don't make it anymore. It's not that they don't make it more. It's like, we don't know if it'll ever come back or got,
they're out of stock.
Blah, blah, blah. So, which is sad, because now we're going through all these different type of people. And as much as I love Blackmagic, I can't use Blackmagic because Blackmagic has a tendency to shut down my for some reason it has this copyright protection thing in there that it won't even take the feed correctly. So I don't know.
I
like my fish cup.
Well,
fish. These guys actually clean our windows. They've still been cleaning our windows. So yeah, it's good,
Okay.
good people. But so the next thing we'll jump on, because I can't believe we're burning time as fast as we are.
I know,
I'm
flying.
gonna jump over to the other one. Now, this one right here is the one you kind of been saying for a while. Amazon reportedly accessed third-party seller data to develop private label products.
Exactly.
So,
we've been more than suspecting it for a while. Just like I was saying about Facebook, they have all your back-end data. They know what your products are. They see what's hot. And so they go ahead and they contract out to make it themselves, and then they put you out of business. Thanks for doing all of their test marketing for them.
right.
Not your best
And
friend
this is,
in the world.
this comes from the Wall Street Journal, even though it's off The Verge. And one former employee told Wall Street Journal that they knew they were violating the policies. And he quoted said, "We knew we shouldn't," said one former employee who accessed the data and described a pattern of using it to launch and benefit Amazon products. So.
Right.
It's
unethical.
And here's what's funny is they're launching an internal.
Oh, that's awesome!
Right. It's like,
so Jeff Bezos is going to go check to see what Jeff Bezos did wrong,
right?
And then Jeff Bezos's newspaper, the Washington Post, will report.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll work great. No, the whole thing is just a cluster bomb, and the whole diapers.com fiasco that happened with Amazon, where they noticed the traffic, they saw the sales, they contacted them and said, "Hey, we want to buy you, and if you don't sell to us for this lowball price in the next 10 days, then we're going to put you out of business because we're going to just shut down all your traffic."
Right.
And so they had no choice. I mean, they were destroying their market cap. And so they ended up selling for pennies on the dollar. This is unscrupulous. It is honestly, they need to be looked at. And I know Trump's been calling for it since before he was elected. Okay, right. Looking at them being nailed for antitrust violations. Well,
now the FTC,
because that's exactly what this is.
Yeah, the FTC is going to investigate them, and which is really sad. But this is what I just hope. Here's what I hope. I hope they fix the problem where Amazon doesn't do this anymore, because I know a ton of mom and pops that sell on Amazon.
Yeah,
as a platform. Okay, let's take the bad side of it.
Yeah.
As a platform, Amazon is freaking awesome, because now
having a large The problem is when they go in and they choose to compete against their own customers.
Right. When you go rip my product off and you start selling something exactly like mine, that's just wrong. And I will give well, eBay does it, China does it. I mean, and hopefully that's I've noticed.
Well, I mean, individuals do it on eBay. eBay doesn't sell anything.
No, but
that's the big difference. That's why I prefer eBay.
I think eBay has people that also watch the data, and since they've got money, they'll go, "Hey, if you'll go and make this type of product and sell it on eBay, we'll help you out. You help us out. Free advertising, blah blah blah, and we all split the pie." Because it's amazing all of a sudden how I saw stuff on eBay that other people were doing. Then next thing you know, there's 20 people doing the exact same thing. But yet their traffic is way higher than the other person's traffic was. Because I used to use eBay all the time. I could get to direct sellers that way. With Amazon, you cannot.
Which is what I like to do.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you can. I mean, I only, I would never buy an Amazon product. And I mean, a lot of people don't realize you don't even have to use Amazon to get Amazon prices.
Right.
If you're buying electronics, you can go to Best Buy and they will price match Amazon.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
It's that simple.
I'm trying to get an Elgato, an Elgato switcher for inside the studio, and I'm trying to go around.
I try not to do that because Amazon competes unfairly, so their prices are unfairly low. And so when I go in, unless it's something major, I really don't use that. I believe in rewarding my local retailer with my dollars. because they are the ones paying people right here to live right here and buy stuff right here and pay for the lawn service right here, to pay for the pool cleaner right here, to pay for the contractor right here, to buy their groceries right here, to get their new bicycle right here. This is all stuff that's staying in my community.
Yep.
When I buy it from out there, away goes the money.
Right. Exactly.
And none of it stays here, except maybe $8 an hour, which is why Best Buy is, kind of questionable on the list, because they're sending the money off. Okay. Yep. But it's a hell of a lot better than Amazon, in which $0 are staying here. At least there's 400 people working down here at the Best Buy who get a job in my community. Some making $15-$20 an hour. Okay. So all right, enough said. What's next, boss?
So all these people are going, oh, I've got this app that does this, and I've got this. So apps aren't reliable way to measure your blood oxygen levels, because people have been using it for this. It could be dangerous, actually. Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. I'm not supposed to do that until. Doctors say that one of the best ways to monitor patients with COVID-19 is by tracking their blood oxygen levels, which can show that there are dangerous breathing problems, right? And they're trying to use their these phone apps. Unless you're getting direct contact with the blood, I don't think you can. I mean, you have a lab. You know more about that than I would. But to me, unless you're taking a pure blood sample, how do you know how much blood oxygenation is going into your system?
There are ways of doing it, okay, and using the flash on your phone is kind of like the duct tape method,
right?
For doing it. It's good for really gross numbers, like am I above 90 or below 90? That's kind of where it's like, okay, it's real general. The margin of error is way too wide on it because there's just too many factors involved. I mean. And it's supposed to calibrate off the brightness of the light in your phone and, so on. But the fact of the matter is, the blood oxygen level, the VOC, is just one indicator. And I mean, I've seen where people are being denied, COVID tests because they're at 96% and you have to be at 94% before you qualify for a COVID test. Okay. This was a couple of weeks ago. So it's probably bygones now. Because now it's pretty much anybody who wants a test can practically get one. They've tested over 5 million people at this point.
Right.
But again, only about, I think, 1 million have come up positive. So it's still only 20%. But I think, the phone is, and here's the other thing. Don't use it as an absolute. Use it as a relative. Okay. In other words, we have another device that checks pain levels in your body. It actually objectively measures pain. And it's neat because what it does is it compares the left side of your body to the right side of your body. So you're not up against some absolute scale.
Right.
It measures how your left side compares to your right side.
Right.
And it's the same thing with this, okay? If you're using your phone to measure this stuff, then go ahead and measure it on a regular basis. Check today, check halfway through the day, check after your workout, check here. Follow your movements and get a relative concept of where it's at, because you're not going to get an absolute concept. That's the big problem. You're not going to get an absolute.
Okay.
You're going to get your reading and how it compares to your previous and your future readings. That's all.
All right. Well, let's talk about something fun, but not fun. Nintendo confirms that 160,000 accounts were hacked, accessed in hacking attempts. Yay!
Okay, so that's fun. Yay! Because it's Nintendo, so it must be fun.
Yeah.
It's a game. It's a game.
Yeah.
We can all play.
But how many parents have helped their kids sign up for an account with their credit card information on that account?
Of course. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
I mean, it's not
and
fun.
The parents
but it's
have
fun.
the parents have put in their own passwords because they don't want the kid accessing it.
That's correct.
Okay, when they just want to buy something. And so, bam, now you've got these issues. So, yeah, I mean, you know what? If the data's out there, the hackers are going to get it.
Right. Now, I asked,
fundamentally...
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I asked... No, I knew... Well, go ahead. Finish up. No, I'll tell you what I was going to say. Go ahead.
No, fundamentally, we need to look at our systems and say, okay, we've jumped into this thing and we've kind of duct taped and hodgepodge and baling twined, okay, the entire internet security together. Should we go back and examine the fundamental assumption about security? Should we look at how we handle security? Should we look at, blockchain as a fundamental rewrite of security? But even go further than that and say, do we need to eliminate the need for security? And that is a funny thought. But that's a conversation we should be having going forward.
Yep.
Should we eliminate the need for security?
Right.
And how do we do that?
That would be good. That would be good overall. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good for a lot of things. So, but it doesn't say that they're going to give you your money back, or if you got, they are going to cancel purchases. But if you get an email that is that in your, and you can say, hey, you have potentially been hacked, they want you to go through everything. Go, oh yeah, I didn't make that, or I made that, or I didn't make that. So now I'm the one that's going to have to prove it. But anyway, so I have a video. How long is that video? 3 minutes, I think. I have this video I want us to watch real quick because good for NASA. All right, so we're gonna play a video real quick, and then we'll come right back because this is one. I mean, NASA's always been really good as far as I'm concerned, but this is like stellar. So let's watch this video real quick.
We are designing an easy and rapidly mass manufacturable ventilator device, and it is a crazy project.
This crisis is unprecedented in our lives, and requires unprecedented action.
I'm so amped up. I mean, it really, the adrenaline rush, it's exciting, but it's exhausting. And I think we all just want to do everything we can to try to help.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
I would say the biggest personal challenges that I have myself is I don't have time to sleep.
I think what JPL brings to the table is extraordinary talent. It also brings to the table tremendous innovation. The third thing it brings to the table is tremendous focus. The other thing that I felt, I see it in our team, and that is a call to duty. I have this talent, I'm an engineer or a scientist, I can do something.
We have the potential to save human lives, people that we might know, our neighbors, our families. And that intensity, amazing. It's amazing. And as stressful as this has been for everybody in the last couple of weeks, not one of us can stop.
Super cool, right?
It is good hearing them.
Turn that channel off. Sorry.
Yes. Okay, good. We're off. No, it's nice seeing them create these, cost-effective replacements. Necessity is the mother of invention, and I love seeing that. And so that's great. I've also seen, in following some of the medical boards that I follow, where a group in Britain has created a passable ventilator using the squeeze bottles that they have in ambulances that they carry with them.
Yep.
Okay. And they've matched it up so that it'll work in just about any third world country because they matched it up with a motor for a windshield wiper of a car. And then they use a cantilever and it just and opens and closes, and they're using that. And so they have, and those things can be packaged for like $10.
Right.
And they're out the door and being sent off. These things with, one of the key concerns in these is monitoring the pressure levels and the actual oxygen levels, making sure that you're not providing too much resistance because you can blow up somebody's chest. You can suffocate them very easily with one of these if they aren't getting enough oxygen in.
Right.
So it's the technical monitoring of these systems that makes it possible for someone to leave the room while it's being used. And that's what they're doing. And JPL is, those people over there, I'm sorry, they are rocket scientists.
They are rocket scientists, aren't they? I love to say, it's not rocket science. Well, they are.
Yeah. And it's really amazing how, because one of my clients is actually a rocket scientist. And working with him on projects is just amazing because the skill set that they pull from is so all over the boards. It is so crazy what they have to do.
Right.
That it is not this narrow little pigeonhole thing where all you get to learn about is, one widget and how it's designed.
Right.
It's not like that at all when you're at the level those engineers are at.
Right.
They're like, okay, we have these skill sets. We know these. We're just changing systems. Think about it. They build breathing systems for spaceships.
Yep.
Hello.
And one of the first things
they build into the space suits.
Right. And I went and read I read the articles. Oh, I know it's hard to believe that I actually read something. Then I'll post it. But
I didn't know you could read.
I know, it's sort of those little hidden secrets about
I'm
John.
just quoting Draco Malfoy. Okay,
yeah, I know.
Sorry.
And when they did this, the whole time that they were developing this, they had to develop it where anybody, it was easy for mass production. So it wasn't like, well, if you have this XDY jiggle thing, we can't get that. We can't make it.
Right.
Everything there was extremely...
Everything there had to be off the shelf.
Off the shelf. That's right.
That's the key. And, I'm going to let that segue into our marketing segment.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, because it's the exact same thing.
Rocket.
We talked earlier about the problem with the Florida State website. It's the same problem they had when they tried to launch the Obamacare website. And that is they wanted to go in and they wanted to custom design every piece so that it would do, this, that, and the other thing. We need this bell and whistle and we want these special requirements, da, 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 da. And what they end up with were both of them websites that just did not work, period. Because they had so many customizations. Okay, they weren't actually customizations. I take that back. They were, special functions that they had to have in them. The way to make sure that your design, your idea works well is to flip that around. Go to what is available off the shelf. When we got a call last week from a doctor, okay, who wanted to start a membership program. And he's like, okay, let me tell you what I want. I said, I don't want to hear it. He's like, well, what do you mean? I said, no, we'll do the project, but I want to hear what you want. I'm going to tell you what's available. And what's available has been proven to work across thousands of websites and platforms and whatever the hell you want to use. Okay, servers, hosters, whatever it is you need. Okay, we know this is what we can implement. Within that, we have variations and customizations. So let's go in and let's use what's already proven, set up, ready to go. And so in this case, he wanted a membership site because he had, patients who were asking him for, certain non-medical treatment regimens. There were the in-home exercises, certain advice on this, that, and the other. He wanted to start a membership program.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, then this is what we have available. This is what we then customize to make it work. And so within a week, we have a completely functioning working platform that we can scale up to handle 50,000 members if we need to.
Right.
Or he can handle 500 members, which is what he's hoping for. But anywhere in between functions perfectly. And, all these things are out there. They're all available. The fact it's like going into the hardware store. You've got this idea of something that you need to make, and it's going to include PVC, but you think you're going to have to cut off an angle off the top of the PVC joint in order to make it work. And you walk in, and lo and behold, that exact piece is sitting right there on the shelf.
Right. Now it's
like, why is this here? I don't know why this is here.
You sent us a link, right? You sent us a link from I think it's WordPress.org. Yep, it's from WordPress, one of the sites. Yeah, right. So here's something, and I'm going to back you up on this. So, every time that someone comes to me and goes, "Hey, John, I want to do a paid per view," I'm like, "Okay." Right. I said, "Well, we're going to have to go get a custom back-end site built because it's just WordPress does not do this," and they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, and there's these softwares and there's these other online programs where you have to go and set it all up and blah, blah, blah. And now you are showing me that there is a way to do.
Yes.
So for my clients, see, John learned something today, and I'll be the very person. So now I can offer my clients, if you want to do a paid per view through WeBeam TV, where you get paid, it's secure, the whole 9 yards, and we can now do it.
Yeah.
Without having to go to an external site.
No, we don't have to go to an external source. I mean, you want to have a pro set it up for you because there's way too many things you can screw up.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is something we're very experienced in setting up. So give us a call. Okay. We'll be happy to take care of it for you. And again, we can do everything distance because, we have Zoom. And so it doesn't matter where you are in the country, we can take care of this. And it's multiple. And this is just one plugin that I like to use because a huge number of their options are available right up front for free.
Right.
And so, like I said, we were able to put together this membership site in a week and have a rough draft out to the doctor that he could look at and go, yeah, this is 90% of what I wanted. And the other 10%, can we do? Well, we were able to do half of the other 10%. And of the 5%, you got to okay, so I wanted to be able to have it do, this particular function. I'm not going to get into the details, okay? But I don't have that particular function. Maybe I can bastardize it off of, some other platform for now, okay? But I got 95% of what I want, and it functions perfectly right out of the gate.
Right.
What is that worth to be able to be in operation in 7 days? What is that worth to your business?
Yep.
And that's why, if you're going to go into these things, you're going to do these things. Don't do what governments do that have what they believe are infinite budgets. Right. Okay. I mean, it was $600 million to build the Obamacare website, and it did not work. $600 million. And 2 students from MIT saw it and built it in a week with off-the-shelf stuff for free. Okay, the week after they launched it. 2 guys from MIT just went out and built it.
Right.
And it's like, look, this is all you had to do. And it's the same thing. I mean, look, I'm going to go back to Best Buy.
Right.
Okay? I mean, they didn't even charge them. They said, here, have it for free. Okay, we did it for fun.
Right.
And they didn't even ask for, the $600 million. Of course, they didn't use their stuff because they had to keep giving the money to the campaign. Oh, what was that? The software companies were donors. What an interesting coincidence. Okay, we won't get into the politics of that crap right now.
Nope.
But the fact is, this is stuff where small businesses don't realize how powerful their tools are right now and how they can compete. Look, you want something infinitely customizable? You want to be able to compete against Best Buy? How about using the same platform Best Buy does? Yep. Guess what? They use WordPress.
Yep. They sure
because it works.
It works.
Why reinvent something that's already there? So there you go. I now burned up my minutes.
No, that's fine.
I'm happy.
So I'm gonna. So we don't have time, so I'm going to get into next week. I'm just going to get a preface. Next week, I want to talk about 5G and the conspiracy theories about COVID. I want to talk about 5G, the conspiracy theories that that it's harmful to your health as a waveform. If you know anything about waveforms, it is a very short and very powerful waveform. 4G is like this, right?
Yeah.
And then 5G is like this.
But that's why at 4G, I can get 30 megabits in my house, and at 5G, I can get 200 megabits.
Yeah, but it's cooking you from the inside out. So, that's what that's the conspiracy.
Oh, wait a minute. It's cooking me from the inside out? Hang on just a minute. This sounds very much like something a certain politician said might cure us of COVID. So I personally think we should be using 5G to cure COVID.
Well, now we got it. Here's the next thing. We only got a minute and a half coming. Because Wi-Fi is going to get its biggest upgrade in 20 years. 6G Wi-Fi is coming soon. Great. 6 gigahertz.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this more next week. It's an interesting article that I found. Oh yeah. So this is huge. So we're going to end the show on this right here. Go ahead, Rob. Put that bad boy up. So that is how clear the logo visibly is.
Yep. With all the pollution gone, we can now see it. Except I found out you can't see it in the state of Florida because Universal has licensing rights to it, and so we're not allowed to see it.
That's awesome. When he showed me, I'm like going, dude, that is so cool. So now you can actually see the Universal spinning around the Earth. That is too funny.
I thought that was brilliant.
It was. Whoever came up with it, smart guy.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful.
So if hopefully everything. Yes. So everything that we have touched on today, I hope has been helpful for everybody. If you've got any questions, Tech Shamans at WeBeamTV.com. I do keep getting emails about, because we keep teasing it. We're going to talk about the 5G thing because there's conspiracy theories on both sides. It's just, I watched a video a couple weeks ago that from an installer standpoint that he's afraid for America. So, but anyway.
All right, we're out of time, guys.
We'll see you guys next Monday. Be good, be safe, stay clean, wash your hands, wash your butt, all that kind of fun stuff. Everybody, talk to you later.
Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.